Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. Ms. Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame, I'm pro-ogre Encarta.
You're pro-ogre?
I am.
Big fan of Shrek?
No, not really. It's more of another version of ogre that is much less creative and looks like spray paint on face.
So you're a fan of John Fetterman?
Yeah. No, I'm not actually. But wow. Oh,
he has ogre-like qualities.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
He also has qualities of the uncle in this film too. But anyways, so Today on the show, we are covering a movie, kind of a rare thing. We don't ever do that, do we?
No.
Oh, wait. That's all we do usually. Anyways, so TV shows sometimes do. And we are covering the 2004 film entitled Ella Enchanted.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, what we're doing.
The Internet Movie Database short synopsis for this is: Ella is under a spell to be constantly obedient, a fact she must hide from her new stepfamily in order to protect the prince of the land, her friend for whom she's falling. Yeah, that's a weird synopsis. Anyway, so
It's sort of accurate, but not really.
Yeah, this film was directed by Tommy O'Haver. He is known as well for directing the movie Get Over It, which is that's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, he's Billy's Hollywood Screen Kiss as well. The Loop TV series, the United States of Terra TV series, the movie The Most Hated Woman in America, which I watched and it was kind of underwhelming. Based on a true story about this woman who was the most famous atheist in the country. Oh yeah. And something on his thing that I'm trying to figure out. It's called Untitled Monkeys Project, as in the band.
Okay.
Yeah, it says the life and the story of the 60s band The Monkees. That was listed as 2018, but it still hasn't been made. So probably in development hell or whatever. There was a made-for-TV movie about the Monkees that I watched years ago that was actually pretty decent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on some streaming service. So the writers of this are Laurie Craig, Karen McCullough, and Kristen Smith. They've written other stuff. I'm not going to go into their history. The film stars Anne Hathaway as Ella, Hugh Dancy as Char, Cary Elwes as Edgar, Joanna Lumley as Dame Olga, Aidan McArdle as Slanin. I don't remember how his name was. Lucy Punch as Hattie, Jennifer Hyam as Olive, Minnie Driver as Mandy, Eric Idle as the narrator, Steve Coogan as the voice of Heston, Jimmy Mystery as Benny, Vivica A. Fox as Lucinda, Paraminder Nagra as Aridia, I don't know, I did whatever names, among other people in this movie. Including Heidi Klum as a giant, but
yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
This movie here, your initial thoughts here, Sesame?
Oh boy, it's okay. It's got its charm. no pun intended, or actually all puns intended. I've watched it a couple times. Right, it's not too bad. It's not really good, but it's got, I guess it's got its moments. I think it's fine. Basically, it's just okay. There's nothing really too special about it, but it's also not bad. Got Anne Hathaway, that was during her heyday when she was now she's like in nothing. But during
she's still acting.
Oh,
like,
she?
a lot.
Okay.
She's recently she's got a lot of stuff.
Cool. But it's got her in it, obviously. Yeah. So I recognize her. Minnie Driver, I don't really recognize too many. Well, the guy who plays the uncle of the prince, he looks familiar. I'm not his, but
Yeah, Cary Elwes. He's he's in a lot of things. I mean, he's probably best known for Princess Bride as Wesley.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he was Wesley in that, which is a far better fairy tale film.
absolutely than this. Yeah.
Princess Bride is in my top 10 of all time favorite movies. So,
absolutely, yeah, I think it is too. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I mean, it was not bad. It's not something that's gonna really grab your attention, but it's got its moments. It's 2004, so there's a lot of 2004 aspect to it. It's a weird time in cinema, the early 2000s. It's its own thing. It's hard to really describe. You had to be there, kind of get it. It's because it's like right in the middle of like a changing of eras. You know what I mean? So it's like it's hard to really describe it.
Yeah,
you got the tail end of the last one seeping in, but then you got the new one coming in, and so they're kind of like in like purgatory. Then you get Ella Enchanted from that purgatory, and then it finds its way into our world where we watch it 21 years after it came out, because I never saw it when it came out. I didn't even know it existed until a few weeks ago. Yeah.
How'd you come across this as a choice for this week?
So I was watching a video of someone else was reviewing it, and her name is Jody something. I forgot her full name.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, that seems interesting. I think, I'll watch it myself and, to kind of form my own opinion on it. And, so that's kind of how I got the idea. I stole it from her, not really, because I didn't use her commentary. I just got the idea from her.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because I've seen people make the same video 2 years before. So it's like, at one point, does it quote become stealing if that person?
Oh no, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like
reviewing a movie is there's no such thing as really stealing that, unless you're somebody who does like a review almost like word for word of the review or something. Then I mean, I do have a review that was done of this movie, completely written out in transcript, and everything that I'm saying right now, including me talking about the transcript, is actually written on paper. No, wait, I'm joking. No. Oh boy, I'm not even real. I'm actually AI. So that's another story here. I'm AI, or A1, as our Secretary of Education would call it.
A1 steak sauce. There you go.
Yeah, she was saying that there's kids are learning A1 in school.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I was in school, we didn't even learn about ketchup, so I don't know what the heck's going on. But we never had a condiment class. I just never,
Yeah, you had to learn that on your own.
Yeah, we had to learn about condiments and condoms all on our own.
Yep. Yeah. God.
There's no sex education either.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
So, I had never seen this movie before. I remember because like when it came out, I worked at a video store. I remember when it came out on video and stocking it on the shelves and stuff, and always thought, oh, this looks like a kid's movie, which it kind of is.
Yeah, it is kind of like yeah.
And I really wasn't interested in watching it. So
yeah,
even with one of my free rentals or anything, but it was actually a lot better than I thought it would be, but it was still not good.
No, it was not that great. No, it really wasn't. But like, yeah, it wasn't like absolutely horrible. But like, I can't wait to get into it though. Can we get into it? Because I got so much.
Before we get right into it, I got a question for you. What do you think the budget of this movie was?
Oh, really? Shit. I'm thinking 25 million, maybe.
You were close. It was 31 million.
Okay, all right.
How much do you think it made at the box office?
Well, considering that I'd never heard of it, and I was really into movies a lot back then too, so I probably would have heard of it if it came out. I'm thinking like, I don't know, 20 million maybe.
27.4. So yeah, it was a box office bomb. I mean, it didn't make quite as low as what you just guessed, but it was pretty close. But yeah, it made for 31 million and only made 27.4. So, yeah.
They had to pay Anne Hathaway probably millions of dollars just to act in the movie.
Yeah, and I mean, and Minnie Driver and you know, Vivica A. Fox and some other people that were in it that were actually, you know, Eric Idle and whatnot that were pretty well known people. Cary Elwes even. I think Hugh Dancy was kind of starting to be the hot commodity at that time. This is before he was bigger and, you know, more well known. This is interesting. A lot of people didn't like the movie because that were fans of the book because it like veered a lot from the actual book. So is from what I'm reading. So, but we'll get more into that later. So what happens here in the land of Frell?
Frell. So she is Ella of Frell. It's like a town.
Yeah.
And it got Eric Idle opening narrator, which they already told me from the beginning it's probably not going to be that great of a movie because Eric Idle's funny and stuff, but pretty much everything after Monty Python's kind of like he's not like John Cleese. He didn't really like make it after Mike is known for Monty Python and pretty much that alone. Whereas
I mean, he did write Spam-A-Lot for Broadway and did pretty well there though. So yeah.
Whereas at least he got that going for him. But like usually when it comes to his like cameos in movies.
Yeah,
I always feel sorry for him a little bit because it's like, you need the money to be in Christmas Vacation too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why would you say yes to that? You know what I mean? Like, you know, type of, anyway, so.
Yeah, he was in Christmas Vacation too, but he was reprising his role from European Vacation. So
I know. But,
yeah.
It's like, I know. And then, but like, so he's narrating, Ella is born. And so apparently we live in a world where multiple fairy godmothers exist, and each baby who's born gets blessed with a quote gift by seemingly at random whatever fairy godmother just chooses to visit you, I guess. And so they get Lucinda, excuse me, who they didn't want because she always gives people quote terrible gifts, because like not I guess or something. And so she picks her up, you know, the baby, you know, Ella, and like because Ella cried for like 2 straight seconds, she's like, oh, I can't handle this, and then gave her the quote gift of obedience, and then go to sleep, and then she went to sleep and says wake up. She woke up, and so it's like, oh, I
did read something interesting on the trivia about the baby. They were twins because, you know, a lot of movies they use twins to play the babies. One of the twins was a really happy baby. The other one was really loved crying a lot. So what they did is they had the happy baby in there, and then when the title card comes up of Ella Enchanted, it comes up over the face of the babies, and they swapped out the babies. They paused the filming and swapped out the babies. So then when it came back, the baby was crying. So that's kind of interesting.
It is, yeah. And so Lucinda's like, oh, okay. And they're like, hey, you know, take that back. That's a terrible gift. And she's like, oh, no, you don't do it, whatever. It's like, okay, shut up, bitch. Like, you just done a horrible curse on someone. You know it's a bad gift, because why would you're telling me you're so stupid that you can't foresee how it's bad that this girl literally has to do what anyone tells her to do. Like, that's not a problem in any way whatsoever. But she goes, by the way, I've noticed that just like a lot of these movies, it's always the people of color who seem to be like the bad guys, or like stupid people that do bad people too. I've noticed that. So she's black. We got a elf later on who clearly is Jewish coded, and they really make that known. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that later. But
there are some problematic racial undertones in this movie. Yeah.
Anyway, but we'll get into that. So, like, she grows up, and they show her growing up, and you know, it's kind of cute at first. Like, she's kind of protecting like this girl who's going to be your new best friend, who later on she's going to have to tell that she doesn't want to be friends with her anymore. Made me really angry when I watched that scene. I wanted to actually the people in the movie who made her do that. Anyway, so she kind of protects the girl, and then the bully says, bite me. And so she bit her hand real hard, told him to bite. And then they show like a birthday party, and I think it was her birthday, and their mom says, now dig in and stuff yourself. So then she just like completely goes to town on the cake, and then she's like, Ella, stop that. And then, you know, she stops or whatever. And so they finally tell her, you know, that she's got this like purse basically, and she's like, oh, I always knew there was something wrong with me, but I didn't know what it was or whatever. It's like, how would you not know? Like, I mean, how would you not know as the person? Like other people, but like, you know that you literally have to do what everyone tells you to do. Like you never made that connect. You're like 9 years old. Like, come on. Like, I mean, I can understand being like 3 or 4, but by age 9, at that point, you should kind of realize, oh shit, like I do literally what everyone do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but for some reason, they didn't tell her dad, which I didn't really understand. That it's like her
only Mandy and her mom knew what was going on besides.
And so I thought that was kind of stupid because it's like you would think that like you'd want all hands on deck, like both parents, so they kind of can know what's on, especially considering the fact that her mom dies. Yeah, and so then.
And what you at least on her deathbed, she would say something to her husband like, "Yo, Ella's got this thing where she has to obey everybody. You might want to, look out for her."
Yeah, that's the thing. But then she says, "I command you not to tell anyone about this gift." So it's like now she can't even tell her dad about it, even if she wanted to, because it's against the rules. And there were still some loopholes I could have found in there. Like at no point could she not tell Mandy, like, "Hey, since I can't tell anyone about this that doesn't know. Could you could you tell my best friend about this so that if I ever do something that's going to hurt them, it's not because I'm doing it, it's because I'm literally being forced to do it." But no, apparently no one used that loophole at all for the movies. Like that would literally be the thing that would just solve everything like immediately. It's like, oh, you just go tell dad, or you just go tell what was her friend's name?
Her friend's name was Arida. Areida.
Yeah, I think it was Arida.
There we go.
Yeah, and so we got that going on. And we do a time jump. She's now in college, or at least community college. I'm not sure. It says community college when they're in the thing. It's like it's weird because this movie's like what's that?
It does. I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah, no. When they're inside, when they're having the debate between her and her stepsister, it says community college, like on the sign or whatever. And so basically, her dad has to get married to this really rich widow, I guess, because they need the money to save the house. Which, like,
yeah, I mean, it's similar to because I mean. There's obvious, inspiration from Cinderella in this.
Obviously, her name is Ella.
Ella and the stepsters and everything, and it's very similar to what happened in there, where they were poor and they had to marry up or whatever, and then unlike Cinderella, the dad doesn't the dad die in Cinderella? I'm confused. And then she gets.
I don't remember.
It's been a while since. You think I know this? I also worked on a stage production of Cinderella. You think I'd know the story better? So
right, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it was just an interesting movie. It's like it's supposed to take place like in a fairy tale land, but like it's also supposed to be present day. It seems like so. It's kind of like a weird.
The thing that's kind of cool though about a fairy tale land is it never existed. So. Right. It can be whatever you want it to be, really.
No, absolutely. It could be whatever. Yeah, exactly. And so, like, these sisters, again, there are some problematic things, but again, 2004. So, the one sister's like just a total rat, like, thinks she knows it all. She's like, this is my precious one. The other one's, this one's special. And it meant specialist, like, whatever. Yeah. Like, not very smart.
A little problematic.
Yeah, I'm like, oh boy, she's the special one. And she is kind of just dumb. Like, in
the book, she's illiterate.
Let's see. And here she's like
she's just dumb. Yeah,
annoying. Yeah, she's just kind of like annoying, like a sidekick to her older sister.
And she's a kleptomaniac too. So
that's that. Yeah. So there's not really much. She doesn't really add much value to the movie, which whatever, fine. And her stepsister, I forgot their names. They don't matter because they're terrible people.
It's Olive is the dumb one, and Hattie is the bitchy one.
That's right.
While we're on the stepsisters really quick, I'm just going to throw in some trivia here and there that I've read. Lucy Punch, who plays Hattie, this is the second of 4 times that she's played one of Cinderella's stepsisters.
Wow.
In the 2000 movie Cinderella, she played one of the stepsisters. Then in 2008 Cinderella, she played a stepsister, and then she also played one of Cinderella's stepsisters in the 2014 film Into the Woods.
Typecast, man.
Yeah.
Sucks. That sucks, man. I mean, it's whatever, but it's
it's just funny that she's played it 4 times.
I mean, she plays it well because she is a horrible brat. I mean, as soon as they come in the house, they're like immediately raiding anything that they could find of value, like jewelry, stuff like that. She makes Ella show her the closet and then give her locket that her mom had given her on her deathbed, and she like handed over, and so she ripped it off her neck thing. She finds out pretty quickly that Ella has to do what she's told. Like she's like the first person almost immediately, which is interesting. For her whole life, nobody's noticed this, but the stepsister within like 2 days, like already knows what's up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It seems kind of dumb, but like, and they're having like a debate in the community college about whether or not they like the policies of the king regent, which is Prince Charles. Get it? Ella and Char.
Char. His name is Charmont, which is actually the French word for charming.
Right. So you get it?
Yeah.
So, you get it? Ella, charming. Anyway. So, because Char's father was king, he had been killed. The story was that ogres killed him, and so his brother, who's now the king regent, he's pretty much running things, and he used that as an excuse to basically like do all kinds of like racist and speciesist like laws, like ogres are like third-class citizens. Giants are into forced slavery because they're so big they can blush a word. Elves literally are only allowed to do like 2 different jobs, like. So it's like employment discrimination.
They can only
like
sing and dance and stuff, which is that's very interesting too. Like you said, they're kind of Jewish coded, and
he is the main elf.
The main elf is, but it's interesting that they would be only allowed to do something in entertainment, which it's just
Because that could be almost a cross between both black people and Jews
that's
at the time.
Because at the time, and a lot of times, especially like vaudeville and stuff, was full of people that were Jewish doing performing and stuff, and then the whole like Jews run Hollywood bullshit. So
it's like, okay, whatever. And then I mean, definitely they had a huge impact on it, especially in the early years. They themselves, write history books admitting this, and which is fine, but at the same time, it's like, so what, you'd rather not have movies, TV to watch? I mean, what would you do? I'd be like, you know what I mean? Like, life would be completely boring without like, I mean, at least for me, because I watch tons. Probably too much. Probably too much than I should, but it's something that I like. I mean, I care about.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know. But anyway, so I'm trying to jump around here, but like, so there's like, it's weird because it like mixes like modern day like pop idol culture and like Prince's and stuff. So like the Prince has like a fan club, kind of like how like a musician would, or like a actor, or something like that.
Either they're posters of his image on the wall and stuff, like he's, like he's a Backstreet Boy or something,
It's weird. Like it's interesting of how they do that, because like her stepsister's like completely upset, like really creepily upset. It's like she's like, I have your posters on my wall. I know everything about you. It's like, whoa. He like runs away. To tell Ella I came for her or whatever. Something like that. She like gets so angry at Ella because he likes her. So what happens basically is that her what's the name again? Patty? No, Patty.
Hattie.
Sorry, Hattie figures out during their debate because she says something like, "Oh, just shut up and admit that you're stupid," and then like she's like, I'm shutting up and I admit I'm stupid or something like that. It's like, wait, what? Because like she like clearly won the argument or the debate. You know what I mean? And then like she's like, oh, hold out your tongue or whatever. And so she does that, and so she like kind of knows what's up, and because again, anyone with like one brain cell would be allowed, but whatever. It took her brat stepsister to figure it out. Unique college debate, and so like Hattie's basically like your typical conservative, like, oh, racism's awesome actually, and I'm glad that he's oppressing all these different groups of people and stuff like that. Like, I love it when other people are mistreated and they live in poverty and.
Xenophobia and racism is the greatest thing in the world, according to them.
Like, Nella's a piece of shit for like not liking that, and so now I'm gonna make her do things against her will is for a punishment for her being a good. Anyway, so that's pretty much like what else happened? A blanket. I watched it twice. I should be able to
So
Jump around.
so so she decides to take off after at one point she's forced to tell her best friend that, she doesn't want to be around her anymore, and she, hates her and all that bullshit. What's that? Yeah.
I hated that.
Me too. It was stupid. And my thing too with that is you've got Parminder Nagra, who is like known for being at the time in Bend It Like Beckham, and then she later went on to be on ER for years. She's a really good actress, and she was wasted in this movie. She was totally like,
I know.
They should have developed that character more, in my opinion. Anyways, so we've got that. So she decides to go off onto this journey. We find out that Mandy has a boyfriend who is stuck inside of a book because Mandy's not great with her magic, and she tried to do something and accidentally got him stuck inside of a book. So this guy Benny is in a book.
A Facebook. He's a Facebook.
He's Facebook. Yes.
Yes.
He's the Mark Zuckerberg of the movie. No, I'm joking. No,
this guy's actually a good guy, but
no. He's like one of the people that Mark Zuckerberg fucked over. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this, I forgot to mention too. So they have a household fairy. So I'm worried. Is this a slave labor issue? She not allowed to leave the family? Is she forced to be there?
A house fairy. What the hell?
Right. So does everyone have one, or they're just them? We'll never know until they make Ella Enchanted Part 2. Anyway, go ahead.
And if you're basically it's slave labor, I'm kind of glad that the dad, when he needed money, didn't just sell off Mandy or something.
Maybe he did it for that very reason, because he has a heart. He's like, well, we'll keep our slave. We're not going to sell her to a new family.
So Mandy lends Ella her boyfriend.
Yep. I mean, that's the only way to say it. I mean, that's what happens. I mean,
so he's in this magic book, and so she that can tell, she can ask the book where somebody is and stuff. He can't say where it is, but he can show pictures of where they are. And basically she learns that Lucinda is in Giantville, so she's going off on an adventure to go to Giantville to find Lucinda so she can get Lucinda to take back the curse. And this was did we mention how she met Char? Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, we forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. I was jumping ahead. So there was a thing where Char and his uncle came to town, and of course all the girls are fangirling out like it's the Beatles or something, and but Ella and her friend are protesting they're actually standing up for their rights and fighting for the rights of others. And anyways, Ella is ordered to leave, and she has to obey. So she's ordered to leave by Hattie, and she's off going back home. And Char at one point, takes off because all the girls are trying to get to him. So he's running off, and he runs into Ella, and they have a little meet cute, and they, things happen. They kind of start to kindle a friendship,
like a real friendship. What I like too is that he covers her mouth and she licks his hand to get the cover. Such a weird way. She didn't bite him; she licked his hand. It's
that was weird. Yeah,
I would remove my hand too if someone licked my hand. Oh god. Gross.
I was when I was in high school at one time, I was at a party for, I don't even remember what it was, something I was doing with my friends, in theater or whatever. We were at this party thing, and this girl comes up to me and licks my cheek.
What the fuck? Okay.
Just randomly in the middle of the night, yeah. And then I guess she was dared to do it.
Okay, it's still weird, but
yeah. And then she apologized, and she felt so bad for it. And then we spent the whole night talking, her and I. So I don't even remember her name though, but it was just so weird.
That's so yeah.
I barely knew her. And it was just what the fuck.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why that just popped in my head with the whole licking thing. So anyways, Ella goes off on her journey later, and on the way she ends up rescuing an elf who is being, treated the way that immigrants are treated in this country.
Yep.
By people, and or basically, there just recently these girls that were wearing hijabs in a middle school, 20 other kids beat them up for wearing hijabs and telling them to go back to their country and stuff. And this just happened this past week as we record this. So, and it's not getting national news coverage like it should. So, yeah.
Only if I'm not gonna say it because it's gonna we're gonna leave that thought not on the podcast. But anyways, so
you guys fill in the blanks here. Anyway, so so she rescues this elf whose name's Slanin. I don't know how to it was pronounced. What was it?
The Slanin.
Okay.
Slanin.
Yeah, he's an elf who wants to become a lawyer.
So switch coded immediately wants to be a lawyer instead of a dancer or singer. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. They're at one point while they're going off on the journey, they're captured by ogres who basically want to eat them, especially Ella. But Ella, what's that?
Yeah. So I just didn't understand that because the ogres aren't like that much bigger than like real people are, so it seemed odd they would want to eat someone who's like almost as tall as they. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, to be fair, we eat cows and stuff. So
yeah, that's true. You're right.
So they're gonna like at one point boil her, and she can't get away because she was told to like stay still or something by somebody. So
right.
So of course she has to be obedient, and she's basically gonna let herself get boiled. But then luckily Char shows up and he rescues them, and he joins them on their adventure because he was attending to avenge the death of his father, who he was told by his uncle was killed by an ogre.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not true, but that's what he was told. And that's why the ogres now are persecuted class of people or species. Is it's interesting. Like I never heard of an idea where like someone is blamed for a crime that they didn't commit, or that community, and then that's used to then persecute that community by the government. Like that's a really interesting take. I never.
Yeah, I mean, it's never happened in reality ever.
Only in the ogre, yeah.
Yeah, only fairy tales. It's never real. I mean, there's never been a situation where somebody is sent to a prison out of the country and nobody knows what happened to them or anything either.
Anyway, nope. Yeah. Anyway, that never happens. Only fairy tales.
Nope. Only fairy tales. There was never a situation in the 1930s and 40s where a guy was a dictator and killed 6 million Jews either. But anyway, or whatever it was. So.
Yeah, exactly. The number actually might be even higher than 6 million. That was just the average.
I'm sure it was, because you'll never know, because not everybody was accounted for. It's the same thing as you'll never know how many people have been killed in Gaza either.
Right, exactly. Yep.
So back to the fairy tale.
Yeah. Our fairy tale land, it's like not very happy.
Yeah. So Char saves them. Char's paternal uncle, whose name's Sir Edgar, the King Regent. He's the one that put into place all these oppressive laws that were against elves and giants and ogres and whatnot. So in turn, Char is kind of like associated with this shit. But as they go, anyways, they begin to fall in love. They travel to the capital for they start to travel towards the capital because Char's gonna be his coronation to become king.
Yeah.
But on the way there, they go to Giant Land and hang out, and there's like a wedding going on. They have to sing at the wedding because, I should say she does. Ella does, because she's told to sing. So she's got to obey and sing there. And she sings, a Queen song, Somebody to Love. And, so what else here? What happens at the giant wedding?
What happens? Well, a lot of things happen at the wedding, actually. So Slanin, God, there's so many, like, the problem with this movie is that there's so many little things that happen that are actually really important to the story, but they're like really, really small scenes or short scenes. So like, not only are elves like limited to like 2 or 3 different professions. I think one is juggling, singing, and dancing. I think that's it. Not only that, the government actually kidnaps stray elves, and then so it's like, so is it slavery? Because like it's one thing to be said like you can only do these 3 jobs, but then it's another thing like a car to pick you up. You're like, no, you're going to this gig right now. Like, you know what I mean, like what the fuck? And so
at least in this situation, not saying that it's good that they're forced to do something, but at least they're being forced to sing and dance and not like do grueling labor or something, you know.
Science are forced to do. So basically, like Slandon, like I said before, he's Jewish coded, not like super much, but like you could tell that's what they're going for. And he's like, I don't want to be a singer. I want to be a lawyer. Okay, Jewish lawyer. But then that's just one off. Like, okay, maybe not. But then he wants to go to dinner with Ella, not as like a date, just like friend. He's like, oh, it was great. I got a coupon. Like, okay, so he's stingy with this money. It's like, come on, guys. Like, like really, why are we doing this? Like, it's like, why? Why do they? A lot of movies did this too. Like during that time. It's like, I don't know if they thought it was supposed to be funny or if it was just like a lot of or
if it was unintentional. It might have been unintentional too, but still.
It's like, I don't know. And so anyway, there was that part that I thought was a little bit iffy. I'm like, I don't know if I like that. But more concerning than that is the fact that during the wedding thing, when Ella's just going nuts, I mean, she's like, she could sing all of a sudden because they told her to sing.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. So like she like gets like powers and abilities that like she doesn't normally have.
Yeah, because like when she rescues the elf, she's basically being told what to do by him to help rescue him, and she's doing everything that he says. Like she's all of a sudden turns into like, I don't know, like Jackie Chan or something, She
was breaking out like kung fu and karate, like, which I'm sure she did not learn. And then I mean, maybe they have that in this fairy tale, and I don't know, but yeah, I doubt she do it because she shown no interest in it.
Well, you learn that right after you learn your A1 classes, and then
they start breaking out. No, they wouldn't. They don't want you to learn how to defend yourself. They're not gonna teach you karate, but like, and so yeah, when she saved Slannon, and then like at one point Slannon was trying to help her when they're gonna boil her for eating her, guys. And he said, "Forget it," and then like she forgot like everything, like what was going on. So like they like retell his story. He's like, "Wait, didn't we just go over?" Oh yeah, I guess we did. And so they were gonna boil her and kill her, which okay, interesting. But then like he's supposed to be a good guy somehow, but like he's trying to murder. Well, exactly how he could. Oh, girl, I'm fine, whatever.
It's complicated. There's dichotomy to different people. Some people have good traits and bad traits, and both, and
I mean, like he said, he was the ogre of leisure before he got forced into this life. So maybe it just kind of. But man, the wardrobe in this movie is spot on. The clubs that look like made of plastic, the alcohol, the fucking spray, like the spray paint stuff. I'm like, it's beautiful, man. But anyway, I understand now why it was only $30 million budget, but like. And I mean, part of it was intentional, obviously, to make it. But so where I was like, all right, more concerning is that during this wedding ceremony, a giantess played by Heidi Klum starts flirting with her. And I'm like, okay, flirting with him. So I'm like, okay, how is this going to work out? Like, you're a giant. Like, what are we doing here? Like, how would this work? Like,
I mean, it's a PG movie, but I'm still wondering, how does a giant have sex with an elf?
So like giants. Like, it's not like, oh, they're 8 feet tall. Like, no, they're like,
it's not like 50. It's not like Andre the Giant trying to have sex with a normal sized woman. It's a giant woman.
It's so like they're just like hanging out and shit, and then of course like Mr. Slannon cockblocks himself to the fucking moron. And he's like, "Oh, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but you're a lot prettier." It's like, "Oh my god, why would you? Oh, idiot! Why would you say something like that?" You could have got like giant pussy.
It still works out for them though.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
Sorry, but he ruined it. So Heidi Klum too. Like giant Heidi Klum. fine. This is what it is. You ruined it. You lost it. You had an opportunity. It's gone. But like, you should have used your lawyer abilities to debate and find your way out of the situation. What do you do it? But it's okay because I think they end up together later anyway. It seems like, but like
they get together. So we've got as they're hanging out. She ends up convincing Char that what her uncle's doing to all these people is wrong. So that's cool.
Yeah, because Char's got a good heart. He's just kind of oblivious, doesn't really care about politics and stuff, so he doesn't really know. Char's basically your like medium voter in America. It's like checked out of politics, kind of a good person, doesn't really know too much about what's going on, doesn't really want to know too much about what's going on, but like, it's a decent person, once you have guidance from a person like Ella, like let's say not like a podcaster, ogre, or whatever, talking about eating people and how it's good for you. And that like you shouldn't drink water with fluoride in it because it's gonna make you like into like an autistic person who also. But that's the other thing too. They would say fluoride makes you more obedient. There we go, full circle. Like.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry, I had to find the thread where I was going with it.
Yeah. Oh,
I found it. It took me a bit.
As I walk away. Anyway, so
yeah, go ahead.
so we've got them heading to the castle and stuff, and they end up getting there. But
yep.
And he introduces his uncle Edgar to Ella, and then at the same time, there's like a tour of the castle going on, and her stepsisters are part of that. And during this thing, somehow, because she's jealous, Hattie lets Edgar know that Ella is obedient and has to obey whatever anybody says, and he plays along and tries to tell Hattie that, well, I can, if you help me out here, I can guarantee you Char's hand in marriage, and so whatever. But
like that,
yeah. But he commands her to. He ends up commanding Ella to kill Char at midnight, stab him through the heart, and that's when he's planning to ask Ella to marry him. So yeah.
Romantic.
So they knowing anyways. What happens then? We got okay. So Edgar also reveals in that point that he murdered Char's father.
I know, just flat out. It's like the villain monologue. Basically like, yeah, I did it. And blah, blah, blah,
I do want to point out something that I read the synopsis of the book. Edgar is not in the book at all.
Oh, okay.
And Char has parents who are loving and kind and stuff. So.
It's like the Wicked thing, like you were talking about last night, of how like the book is like nothing like the movie or musical, not maybe not nothing, but it's like
a lot. I mean, completely it's loosely based, So,
like this book seemed to be more serious than the movie too, right? Ella Enchanted, like, right?
Yeah. So Ella writes Char a letter at one point saying that she must leave but cannot explain why because she's not allowed to.
Right.
So she has Slannon. What's his name?
It's Slannon.
I'm never going to get it right. Chain her to a tree far off from the castle, hoping to wait out Edgar's command. So like waiting out for past midnight so things, don't happen and she has to kill him. Yeah. So Lucinda appears out of nowhere, and which I didn't get why or how she just appeared, but
I don't know. You didn't really. It's like she's a party animal. She just like go, I guess. I don't know. And then
so Ella begs her to take back the gift, and she's offended, and so she says, "You must remove this gift yourself." And then she thinks she's doing a good thing, and she unchains her from the tree.
I know. It's like, dude, what the fuck's the matter? Whatever. Yeah. What a terrible person too, by the way.
She didn't know. She didn't know why she was chained to the tree. She didn't, know that she was trying to prevent her because Ella couldn't say why she was chained to the tree or what she had to do either. So
no, but she knows that she has the gift because she's the one who gave it to her, and she's not even like at all apologetic. It's like, bitch, you made a person have to be obedient to any command that anybody gives her at any point in time. Now, look at the implications of this. If this movie were like, let's say PG-13 or rated R, and how dark this movie could get. Like, someone could say, cut yourself, murder yourself, or hey, have sex with me. You can't say no. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like,
like in the R-rated version, there would be a lot more stuff going on.
It's a very dark movie, yes. And the thing is, too, that would happen in the real world, not a fairy tale world, where that obviously so many bad things would happen because of that. And she's like, no, it's all good. Like,
well, I mean,
you should be happy.
Just look at how easily people are led into cults and stuff and obey the cult leader or other people in it, just because they think, I'm going to go to hell if I don't have sex with this guy or whatever. So, yeah.
Or people who get swindled by the ideas that like certain ethnic groups are eating people's animals and pets, and that's the reason why we need to have a fascist government because it's going to screw everyone over. Yep. Stuff like that. Yep.
So, anyways, she also while this is going on, Slannon is like getting a bunch of people together, bringing the troops. He's got all these elves and ogres and giants and stuff coming to take on the place. Char, she goes back to she ends up at the dance or whatever. Because Lucinda basically forces her back to the castle, and she's gonna have to now kill him. So she stumbles into the ball. Char takes her to the Hall of Mirrors where he proposes, and she's like saying no, and she's about to stab him, and he sees it in the mirror reflection. She sees herself in the mirror and then commands herself to be freed from the curse. So, she should have thought of the first day. But
yeah, you should have, because her mom is like, you're more powerful than any spell. Okay, so why does it wait like there's, or like another loophole again. Like there's so many loopholes. Like she could have told Char, like, hey, I'm not allowed to tell you why. I'm not allowed to tell you anything, but I want you give me a command, and the command is don't ever listen to what don't ever obey anyone else's command. So there you go, movie solved. Like, like there it is. Like it's done. Like
something preventing her from doing that. I don't know.
Other like household elf, not Mindy. I forgot the household elf could have told someone that. Yeah. Sorry.
Anyways, Char had seen the dagger and everything, so he freaks out thinking that, Ella's just wanting to kill him or something, which, Ella is arrested before she can explain herself. Edgar, he sees it and, has her arrested. So that they're, Slannon's looking for her and everything. And then Benny, reveals that Ella is in a dungeon. So they sneak into the castle with the elves and the giants and the ogres, and, they free her, and then Benny shows them that Edgar has poisoned Char's crown, which is intended for the coronation, and it's gonna like kill him or make him sick or something,
Poisoned or some kind of magic.
It was poison. Yeah, they say it's poison.
Okay.
They poisoned the crown. They switched crowns, and he put poison like in the rim of the crown.
Why would a poison hat like kill you? Like you're not eating it.
Well, it's magic. It's probably some kind of poison that like seeps into your brain or something.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
So Ella and all of her band of fairy tale creatures crash into the ceremony, and then a brawl ensues where they're all fighting each other. During this time, Mandy manages to turn Benny back into a human. So Char and Ella fight off the guards that Edgar is like sicking on them. She basically confesses her love to him and tells him about Edgar's plot. Edgar has a talking snake named Heston.
That's right. I was going to bring that up.
Hey, no.
He's like a companion / pet. Great animation. He looks nothing like anything else in the movie. He's like a completely new creature. He's like kind of goofy. Like he's not really like scary. He's kind of dumb.
He's voiced by Steve Coogan, which is cool. If you ever want to see a really good Steve Coogan movie, I recommend Hamlet 2.
Big movie. That's a really good one. He's
24-hour partner. That's a good movie too.
That's a good one too. Yeah, that's a good movie. He talks like, and like people just accept that, like, so like talking snakes are like normal in this world, like it's just fine.
Well, I
It's
mean,
like,
there's giants and ogres too. So I mean, yeah.
So it's like, here's Heston, who is a completely different animation style than everyone else in the movie. So he's like his own special world that he lives. He's kind of dumb. Like he like spies for Edgar, but like he always gets in trouble. Like he's not really good at it, I guess. I don't know. Like they're trying to do a thing.
I think it was the most pointless character in there. And I mean, him spying is basically like the like device of being able to see what's going on. Kind of like the crystal ball that the Wicked Witch of the West looks into in Wizard of Oz to see what Dorothy's up to and stuff. You know, it's kind of like that.
It's like that. It like he was gonna have Heston bite him, right? Is that what's gonna go on? Or I
guess like Heston was gonna attack him and bite him or something, and then they end up, taking out Heston
because all the girls, like he just tried to kill for whatever. So they're like, oh shit,
tried to kill Char, yeah. So he almost fatally bites him. So that basically explains things. Edgar tries to proclaim himself king, and then he foolishly puts on the poisoned crown.
Where they like, oops, or whatever, and he falls down. Like, oops.
Puts on the crown because he's a dumbass, and he collapses. And so soon after that, Char and Ella are married. And Char toasts to a new era of equality among all citizens of the kingdom.
Yeah, which lasts like 2 weeks probably.
Yeah, which is something that's going to happen soon in the real world, right?
Yeah.
Anyways. we see there's like this. They break into this number of "Don't Go Breaking My Heart." You see, Edgar didn't die. He's still alive, but he's disabled and confined to a wheelchair, and like looks like he's a dumbass.
Lollipop.
Yeah,
I know,
eating a lollipop. Yeah,
but
and then we
like with disabled people now.
Yeah, I think we have this. This "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" sing along, which was way too long, and so then we end with them riding off into the sunset to their honeymoon or whatever. So yeah,
and her friend was at the wedding, so eventually she was able to tell. Happened. He was literally forced to tell her those things. Again, a lot of some weird things about this movie, like for example, the Heston scene we just talked about. He was gonna bite Char so that he'd die, and then they storm. Okay, what world do people rush after a venomous snake? Like, what are you talking? Like, even if it's a bunch of people, one of these people are gonna get bit. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
well, they're strong.
Yeah, I guess. Because I would not rush towards a venomous snake, even if I was surrounded by like 300 other people. I know one of us is going to get the bites.
Sadly, a lot of people hang out with venomous snakes in the White House. Anyway, so the
yeah.
So do you want to hear some trivia here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this was shot in Ireland, and they had to digitize all the skies to a brilliant blue because the Ireland has like overcast skies all the time. So
okay.
During the fight scene with the ogres, a horse fell on stuntman Rob Inch, shattering his pelvis in 30 places.
Wow.
Yeah. The opening shot that mixed live action and models took 6 to 7 months to create.
Wow.
The Hall of Mirrors scene was the most difficult to film due to the mirrors and the complexity of camera angles because you don't want to get the camera in the mirror.
Yeah.
See. Yeah, Lamia, where Prince Char lives, is modeled after downtown Manhattan with castles in place of skyscrapers, bridges, rivers, and island topography. It also is named after the Greek myth of Lamia. I don't know that story, but yeah. Alexa Penvego auditioned for the role of Ella. People know her from Spy Kids and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to find any good stuff here. So Andy Garcia, Mel Brooks, Edward James Olmos, Jeff Garlin, and Bob Newhart were all considered for the voice of Heston.
Wow.
Yeah. The only movie to feature both Eric Idle and Steve Coogan.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, or isn't the only. This isn't the only movie. I'm sorry. They also appeared in The Wind in the Willows.
Oh.
Yeah. The shoes that Ella steals in the mall scene were really made of glass. There were 2 pairs made. Unfortunately, Anne Hathaway broke both pairs during filming.
Okay.
There's a lot of differences between the book and the movie, including the fact that Edgar doesn't exist in the book. Yeah. Yep, that's about it. Any other thoughts here on this movie before we wrap things up?
No, not really. But I would recommend watching at least one.
I say yes. Watch it. Enjoy it. And I hope you've already watched it by the point that you're in this point of our episode.
Yeah. I mean, there's no point now of watching it. I mean, I guess you could still watch it anyway, but
yeah. So that's all I had to say about it. I'll just say it wasn't great, wasn't bad. It was just a movie. And it might keep your kids entertained or something. I don't know. Yeah. So folks, just want to tell you, be sure to check out all2real2.com. You can find links to all of our social media, our TeePublic, where you can buy some merchandise, our Patreon, where you can help support the show. Share the show anywhere you can. That's the easiest and least expensive way to help spread the word. Okay, Hummingbird? And I need help. And that's good, folks. Do it up.
Do it up. Yep.
And send us any messages or any suggestions for episodes to mike@cullenpark.com. Good way to, be involved.
Do the right thing.
Do it. And, just remember that trans lives are human lives. Free Palestine. No human is illegal. Black Lives Matter. Equality is a good thing, which we learned in this movie.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
No, it's a good thing.
I know.
I'm just letting you know. It is.
It is.
Trust me, it is. Because all parts of me are equal. Anyway, so I don't know what that meant. So, all humans are human. Like I said, no human is illegal. Just remember that I love you. I bet he showers naked. It's an actual line from the movie.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Sesame loves you.
I do.
And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.